Today's episode, we are featuring inspiring women. We are featuring Miss VINI IUEL. She is a celebrated jazz singer from Denmark.
I'm born and raised in Denmark. Went to school there also until I started music. And I grew up in a family, in a home where music was a big part. My father was really fond of jazz, so I grew up with Ellington, Ella Fitzgerald, Count Basie, you know, great names like that. So when all the other guys were hanging out in discos and stuff like that, I went to jazz clubs. And when I was growing up also, we didn't have any rhythmic conservatories. So the only possible way to get an education was the classical. So I started in the conservatory, but I quickly finished because I knew that I would do something with jazz. Because of an event that happened in Malmö in Sweden, which is it's a city in Sweden. And I went there once to play with a small trio, got a small gig there. And I went home from the gig, and I passed by a club. And out was coming this amazing music that I had never heard anything like it. And it turned out it was Brazilian, and I only knew this style from Brazil that's called bossa nova. But this music was out of this world, and I had to go in and I listened. It was a Brazilian composer called Hermeto Pascoal. So I went into the club and I listened to it, and I couldn't sleep for a week. I just knew I had to go to Brazil. So I went to Stockholm, where I got a job as a prison guard for half a year, which was a good preparation for Brazil. And then I had enough money and I got a small grant. So I went to Brazil, and I was there for a couple of years. There are not many women in music. I mean, we actually have made an initiative in Denmark. You make summer music camps for girls who like to play and compose. They make composers camp because it's hard to. There are not a lot of women, female composers. At least the number is a lot lower than for the men. So now they started making, small camps where they encourage instrumentalists to start composing, and that's a good start. In music, I think it's got to be some of the experiences I had when I came to Brazil, because it was a very open society, and I really loved the way that they welcomed you and they gave you space. I mean, they gave everybody space. Everybody got a shot. When I'd been in Brazil for a couple of years, I went to the States and played with this composer Hermeto Pascoal. And when I came to New York, I just realized that I had to spend some time in that place. At that time, it was late 80s. So many things going on, and so many different people. It still is, but now it's very expensive. And so I went to the New School, and I actually got a scholarship for the New School, so I could afford staying in New York. We have some special capacities where we live, because we have a very big, it's an old noble family home from 1750, and it's a lot of space, and it's really beautiful. So I always knew that we could use these frames, these settings for something unique. And the past 5 years we've been creating this cultural space where we have anything from festivals, concerts, exhibitions, art exhibitions. I have a lot of plans because and a lot of dreams. And I have it together with a lot of other people about the cultural space there. We want to make it grow all the time and make the things more exquisite. It's in a development. We only had a 1-year birthday. And for me, my dream is that we can continue the development in the good direction that we are already moving. If that's happening, I'm going to be a very happy director of a cultural house. And for myself, I need to go back and do some more music, because there hasn't been much time for that in the past couple of years. I think I would like to say to any woman, I like to see women, having their own rights and deciding over their own life. And if you have a dream as a woman, you just have to go for it, even though there are a lot of obstacles and people trying to, stop you in your dreams. You just have to believe in yourself and go on and do it, because it's possible.
You can also watch this episode on youtube.com/Leadership Academy KTM. We will be back next week with a new episode. Namaste.